Hi, this is Paige from Mosaic Moments. If you are new to Mosaic Moments, welcome! In this video, I will be introducing how this scrapbook system works. First, let's take a look at the tools you'll need. Number 1, grid paper. This is the foundation for all Mosaic Moments pages. Our grid paper is thick, photo-safe cardstock with fine 1-inch markings separated by 1/8 inch gutters. This will be the background for your layout. It comes in both printed patterns and solid colors. Grid paper is spectacular for easy aligning. You simply cut your photos into predetermined sizes and use the grid marks to line them up. Another important tool is removable adhesive. This allows you to move and place your photos multiple times. This glue will become permanent over time. Now let's talk about one of our most popular products, the basic die set. These dies cut your photos and mats into predetermined sizes for the grid measurements. To use our dies, you will also need to purchase a die machine, such as the Sizzix BigKick shown in this video. To cut photos or paper, you simply place them with the die and roll them into the machine and then place on the grid paper. You can view more videos on how to use the dies on our YouTube channel. Another way to create Mosaic Moments pages is by hand cutting with a mat, knife, and ruler. Even if you have the dies, the mat is handy for cutting very large pieces or creating detailed mosaics and panoramas. Use the front side of the mat for 1-inch mosaics or panorama pieces. The back of the mat has a grid specifically for measurements of the grid paper, so cutting larger pieces is easier than ever. Optional tools for hand cutting are the Quick Glance Guide. This is an overlay that helps you determine which lines to cut along on your mat. Also, the Lil Chizler is perfect for picking up mosaic pieces without getting bent or getting finger smudges. You can learn more about hand cutting on our YouTube channel. Alright, now that you have been introduced to the tools, let's see the Mosaic Moments scrapbook system in action. First, you're going to want to cut your mats if you plan to use them for your photographs. Here I'm using the 4x6 die to cut my mat. And now I'm going to cut another mat 4 times, actually, with the 3x3 die from set A. Now I'm going to cut a photograph with the 3x4 die in set C, and this will fit the grid paper perfectly. For the rest of my photographs, I'm actually going to be using the layering dies. So layering dies are a little bit smaller than the dies that fit right on the grid. So basically you're going to want to cut your mat with the dies that fit the grid, and then your photographs will be cut with the layering dies to make them a little smaller. So if you want to learn more about our dies, I will have a link to a couple of our videos below in the description. Definitely check them out if you want to get more details about them. One of the most valuable resources for Mosaic Moments pages is the pattern gallery. If you are a beginner, this is a great place to get layout ideas. For this page, I am using pattern number 396. Find this one and more on mosaicmoments.com/patterns. So now I'm ready to start sticking my mats and photographs on the grid paper. So here I put my mat down first, which fits the grid perfectly, and then I place my 4x6 photo right on top. I didn't even have to trim this one at all. Now I'm putting in my photograph. This one also fits the grid perfectly. And if you remember before, I cut some square mats with the dies from set A. And as you can see, they fit the grid paper perfectly. All the dies are measured to fit the grid, with the exception, of course, of the layering dies. So these photos were cut with the layering dies, and as you can see, they are smaller than the mat, so you can still see the mat in the background. So yeah, the dies are pretty simple to use. This is the 1-inch grid die. It's, of course, for whenever you want to make mosaic pieces. So all these squares are attached together so you don't lose them so easily. And a trick is to glue each line so that when you put it on the grid paper, it's ready to go. You just pull them apart and the squares fit perfectly on the grid. And because you're putting them on the grid paper, everything is straight, nothing's crooked. You know, with the die, everything, you know, looks perfect pretty much. So it's definitely a must for Mosaic Moments pages. And this design right here, it was made with one 4x6 photograph. It's amazing. So I also wanted to show real quick how the mat can be used. Here I wanted to make a really long strip. So I line it up by this big dot to let you know where to start. And I'm gonna cut it right at this 10. And when you cut it along the number you want, it's sized perfectly for the measurements of the grid paper. And I'm going to do it again on the other side, except I'm going to do it at the 1. So basically it's 1 by 10 squares on the grid paper. Since I used removable adhesive, I can just pick it up from the mat and put it right on my grid paper, and it fits perfectly. Now my page is finished. I hope this video was informative for those of you who are newbies to Mosaic Moments. Definitely let us know if you ever have any questions, and don't forget to check out more of our videos on our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching, and see more on mosaicmoments.com.